بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Today we're going to continue talking about numerical sequences, and specifically we will see the arithmetic and the geometric sequences. Let's begin. A sequence un is said to be arithmetic if un plus 1 is un plus d, where d is a constant. Constant means a real number. And d in this case is called the common difference of un. Let's see this example. un is a sequence defined as un is a 3n minus 2 for all n belongs to n, and we need to verify that un is an arithmetic sequence whose common difference is to be determined. Well, let's begin with finding un plus 1 minus un and check up whether it's a constant or not. Un plus 1 minus un is 3 into n plus 1. We replace each n by n plus 1 in un minus 2 minus 3n minus 2, and this would be 3, which is a constant. Thus, we can say that un is an arithmetic sequence. Now, what is the common difference? The common difference is going to be the constant itself, which is d. Now, let's see some terms of this sequence. For n equals 0, we're going to get minus 2. For n equals 1, we will get 1. For n equals 2, we will get 4. For n equals 3, we will get 7, and then 10, 13, and so on. And you can see from here that we are adding 3, and this is the meaning of an arithmetic sequence. It means we add and or subtract a certain quantity. Let's continue talking about definition 2. A sequence un is said to be geometric if un plus 1 is un times r, where r is a constant, and r in this case is going to be called the common ratio of un. Let's see the second example. un is a sequence defined as un is a 3 to the power n for all n belongs to n, and we need to verify that un is a geometric sequence, and we need to specify its common ratio. Well, in this case, we find un plus 1 over un, and we check up whether it's a constant or not. Un plus 1 over un is a 3, which is a constant. This means that un is a geometric sequence, and the common ratio would be the constant itself, which is 3 in this case. Let's see some terms. For n equals 0, we get 1. For n equals 1, we get 3. For n equals 2, we get 9, and so on, 27, 81, 243. And you can see here that we are always multiplying by a certain constant, which is 3, and this is the meaning of a geometric sequence. Now let's take some application. Remember, un plus 1 minus un is a constant, so un would be an arithmetic sequence. As is the abbreviation of arithmetic sequence. And un plus 1 over un is a constant, means that un is a geometric sequence, and the gs is the abbreviation of a geometric sequence. Now un, vn, and wn are three sequences defined as follows. The question is to study the sense of variations of the sequence un first, and we need to find its nature. Try to do it alone, and let's check up the answer. Well, to study the sense of variations, we find un plus 1 minus un, and we compare it to 0. This is 5, greater than 0, so we can say that un is strictly increasing. Now, what about the nature of the sequence un? In this case, because un plus 1 minus un is equal to 5, which is a constant, we can say that un is an arithmetic sequence with common difference 5. Now the second part asks to study the sense of variations of the sequence vn and to find its nature also. Try to do it alone. Now vn plus 1 over vn is 3. Here we are comparing the ratio to 1. 3 is greater than 1, and vn is positive, so vn is strictly increasing. Well, vn plus 1 over vn is a constant, so we can say that vn is a geometric sequence with common ratio 3. Now the third part, we need to calculate w0, w1, and w2. Also try to do it alone. Well, W0 is 1, W1 is 4, and W2 is 11. Now justify that Wn is neither arithmetic nor geometric. Well, to check whether it's arithmetic or not, let's find W1 minus W0, which is 3, and W2 minus W1, which is 7. To be arithmetic, these two quantities should be equal, and in fact here they are not equal, so we can say that Wn is not arithmetic. Remember, when it's an arithmetic sequence, the difference between any two consecutive terms should be the same. Okay, here W1 over W0 is 4 and W2 over W1 is 11 over 4. The two quantities are not equal, so we can say that Wn is not a geometric sequence. Well, here, dear students, remember, if you want to prove that a sequence is not arithmetic or is not geometric, it's enough to take specific examples. Whereas to prove that it is arithmetic and or geometric, we need to take it in general or in terms of n. Thank you.